But who do you think? So who do you think has more sex? Like people who are like married for a long time, or singles who are out dating?
Hmm. I would have to go with this is just an estimate. I would just have to go with the single people.
Single? Is that
Yeah.
what are you basing that off?
Because I got more access to things. And then, marriage, when you're married for a long time, typically, not everyone, sex kind of declines, over especially over time. So that's why you gotta keep that spice going. But that's on the side.
That's horrible.
But where you single, I got more access.
You know what?
And some people choose not to and be celibate while they single too. I have seen that, but I'm just going off of a grand scale.
I'm gonna look it up. Who has more sex, married or single? Single people are having more sex than married people. Damn!
Yeah, I figured that.
Hold up. Analyzing survey data collected from more than 26,000 people between 1989 and 2014, researchers found that the average person now has sex around 9 fewer times per year. Wait.
You said 9 or fewer times?
Hold on. Found the average person now has sex about 9 fewer times per year than the average person in the early 90s.
Interesting.
Wait. I'm confused. Just found that the average person now. Okay. Oh, okay. So people in general have fewer sex than back in the 90s. Right? But it does say that why dating in your 20s is terrible. I mean, that goes without saying. Yeah, this is a whole article, but it basically says that single people have more sex. Why is that?
I figured that.
The frustration.
It just makes sense to me logically. I mean,
more
access.
You say that, but you would think that you have more access to your partner than having to seek out someone new all the time, no?
That's true. And at the same time, people get complacent in marriages. Like, it's all of those factors. Trust me, I've had couples who told me they ain't had sex in 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, 8 months.
I'm sorry.
Compared to a single. And yes, all of that.
I can't be in a relationship where I'm complaining about not having sex for even 1 month. All right, get out of here. Like 5 years, like you've had people that said that.
Yes, I have.
And they're in a relationship.
So I only know I know.
They're in a relationship. They're in a relationship.
They're married.
They're married.
They're married.
Why are they? Why are they there if they're complaining about it?
Well, people is different in marriage. You're willing to, I guess, sacrifice it and be you're comfortable. So people is like, people got things tied up. And granted, we all have to have a standard for ourselves. But people keep going and going and going. We've been together this amount of time. We got kids. We got a house. We got all this stuff. So it's not that simple. Right. It would be nice if it was, but you know what I mean? But yes, that is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. But, and on average, couples have sex that's why I was curious about that stat, but have sex about 64, 65 times a year. That equates to about twice a week on average.
Couples have sex 64 times a year?
On average. Now we got our outliers where it might be way more than that. And we got the ones where it'd be the 5 years with nothing.
That's like once. So, that's like about once a week.
Once or twice a week.
No.
Once or twice a week when you do the math. About twice a week when I think about it, depending.
That's still kind of depressing. It is.
Just give some context to say why even more it makes sense why single people have more sex.
That's kind of wild, but you know what? You also have to factor in that. I would imagine the average single person is younger than those who are married. Because you're single before you're married, right?
Yes.
So I imagine youth plays a role into it, like sexual drive might have an impact of how much sex you. I don't know. I got to read more on the study, but it doesn't necessarily say if you're a single, because if you're a single person in your 50s, are you having more sex than a married couple in their 50s?
It's relative. It's contextual. That's so relative. Yeah. Because it might be something where it wasn't. Yeah, but it's a good point. It's relative.
I don't know.
Yeah. But that's a good point. I mean, it depends. That, like I said, you know, my lens is always everything is contextual.